Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. And if you can't tell by what's in my inventory, we are going to be going over a sword. That's right, and a special sword at that. It is one that does spawn indestructible. Now because this sword it spawns indestructible, it is of course not findable in the ethereal form. Unless the item specifically has ethereal attached to it, like the ethereal silver-edged axe, for instance. Now, this particular blade is a relatively nice damage with 87 to 474 one-handed and 203 to 649 two-handed. And the reason why the damage is so high is because of an effect on the item, and you'll discover that as we go along. So we have a dexterity requirement of 110, a strength requirement of 189. Then we also have a required level of level 81. So this is a relatively high level item, and do keep that in mind when you talk about it. We have a attack speed of fast attack speed for sword class with no increase to attack speed on this item, and it is a little sad. It has no increased attack speed on it, but the effects on this are actually pretty powerful. We have an enhanced damage, which does vary between 150 to 250%. So unfortunately, if you do find this blade, there is a very good chance you could find one which is at the lower end of the spectrum of ED, with a 100% variance on this item, which is just huge. We also have the Indestructible, which we've already talked about, which does make this completely unbreakable, so no durability. We have a plus 2.5 per character level to maximum damage based on obviously your character's level. So right now I am level 99, and that means that it has a bonus of 247 to maximum damage. Now granted, there's really not much variance on this because you have to be level 81 to put this on. There's only a variable of let's see, what is the level 81? So 81 times 2.5 is a total of 202. So at the exact level that you can put this item on, you are at 202 plus to max damage, and when you hit level 99, you are at 247. So really not a huge variance on the maximum damage there. You know, when you think about the fact that at level 81, you're already getting 202. So only about, what is that, 45 bonus max damage as you level up progressively each level until you get higher. And a much better amount of maximum damage to talk about would be like level 93 seems to be about where most people start to give up on leveling up their character. So if we multiply 93 times 2.5, we end up with 232. So plus 232 maximum damage is probably closer to where it's at, and it does hit relatively hard though, with a maximum of 649. As you can see here, we have a two-handed damage of 1,000 to 3,199, and if we throw on another weapon, just anything, you'll see that our two-handed damage is still relatively high with 428 to 2,336. Which is really nice. I actually really like that 200 damage, though. That 1,000 bottom end is quite high. And what particularly can you use this for? Well, obviously you could use it as a two-handed weapon for maybe like a charge paladin or something. But it seems like it's kind of focused around a barbarian, specifically to give the barbarian just a really nice amount of damage. Did I talk about the 50% bonus to attack rating yet? I did not. So we also have 50% bonus to attack rating, which is very, very nice. You're going to notice that right away when you throw your weapon on, that you see your attack rating goes way up through the roof, especially because this is a sword. I've got sword mastery. We also have the bonus to attack rating on top of that. And let's take a weapon that doesn't have the bonus to attack rating on it. And as you can see here, we go from 3,556 to 4,521. It's roughly about 1,000 extra attack rating from the sword, which is really, really nice. We also have plus 80 to life, so just a flat 80 bonus, which is going to be multiplied, by the way, by Warcry. So when we go out and we cast our Warcries, you'll notice I have 1,264. And let's get our double cast here. So we've got 2,432. We take off the grandfather. We lose a relatively large chunk of health because when you multiply this with the war cry, you get a really large amount of HP bonus. You can see I go from 2,189 to 2,432 just for that 80 bonus that's on the sword, which actually is quite a large number. We also have 20 to all attributes, so not only is it giving us 80 to life, it's also giving us 20 strength, 20 dex, 20 vitality, and 20 energy, and that 20 vitality is also translating out to more life. So the amount of extra life that the Grandfather Colossus Blade gives us is just freaking awesome. And it just looks cool. I mean, just look at how it looks. It's so shiny. It's so freaking shiny. You guys don't even know. Look at how freaking shiny it is. Now, this particular weapon has seen a lot of nerfs over the years. Unfortunately, I believe the original form of the Grandfather Colossus Blade was much more powerful. And unfortunately, with the advent of rune words, the Grandfather Colossus Blade has also kind of just fallen out. And it really is quite sad that the rune words took over these items, just simply because they're just so freaking awesome looking. I mean, look at the shine on this particular blade. Let me get this. Look at that. Shing! Let's go next to the fire. Let's get some fire shine on it, shall we? Shing! Oh, yeah. Look at that blade shining. And there are a lot of rune words that unfortunately have kind of taken over these items. Most notably, I believe Breath of the Dying. And what was the other blade? Breath of the Dying really kind of outclasses it for damage, just simply because you can make it in an ethereal form. I kind of almost wish that you could find the Grandfather Blade in the ethereal form, and then it would outclass the Breath of the Dying. It actually still is pretty good for Berserk Barbarians. It's still pretty good for a Whirlwind Barbarian. I mean, if you've built your character around swords and you want to use this item, it's not going to be a terrible item. And yeah, there are some rune words and things like that which will be better than this particular item in specific situations. But you know, sometimes you just gotta go with style points. I mean, look at the beauty on that weapon. Look at how freaking beautiful it is. It's just it's all kinds of beautiful. Look at it glow by the fire, shall we? Hold on. Let's get a really nice glow on that bad boy. Oh yeah, look at it sheen. I'm still using Wolf Howl from the earlier video. Don't mind me. Gotta get the reflection of the blade off my skull. Now, I hate to say this, but Barbarian really never was my strong suit on this particular character. On this game, I played a lot of characters, and Barbarian just wasn't the one that I put a huge amount of time into. So I don't think I ever actually got to use the original Grandfather Colossus Blade, which was something else. The original version was downright broken, I believe, and that's why they ended up nerfing it. Now, of course, it just does have a socket in it, so you can add something. What would you add specifically? I'm not sure. Probably something to make it faster. If you were going to use this for Whirlwind, you would probably just put the shield directly in it, because Whirlwind does require the weapon to have the attack speed bonus on it. If you were going to use this on a Frenzy, Fury Druid, you would need attack speed as well, so a Shale Rune would be required there. You could also theoretically use this on a Charge Paladin, just for laughs. It does do a relatively high amount of damage in two-handed, and due to the stats and the life and the bonus to attack rating and all those nice effects, I'm sure it would hit like a truck. You know, finding this particular item is going to be relatively difficult because it is one of the higher level items. And if you want to learn how to find this item, I do have a magic find video down in the description. I can't get over how pretty it looks. It's a very pretty blade. It really is. Looks like some sort of like anodized aluminum motorcycle color, doesn't it? I mean, this weapon doesn't have a lot of the fancy, flashy, like, procs or crushing blow or any of those, like, effects that really make a weapon, like, stand out that you can talk about. And I think that's one of the reasons why I'm just kind of, just don't have a lot to say about this particular weapon. You know, it's a very straightforward, very powerful weapon. It doesn't really need a lot of other effects to make it powerful. Now, granted, if I were to use this, I would probably want to put some kind of crushing blow items on, maybe a G-face or gore riders, or maybe some crafted blood gauntlets. Maybe even use a High Lord's Wrath for the deadly strike, so I have some more deadly strike on top of my crit. Because of course, you know, when you're wielding this, you're going to be attacking much faster, and you want that extra double damage as well. Let's go whirlwind with it real quick, shall we? Why not? I didn't even know what was coming at him. You guys don't even know. That's right. You die, and you die, and you die, and you die. And you die. Use a little berserk too, why not? Eh, 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 eh. Hey look, a shotgun. An ethereal shotgun. Oh man. Now, this particular weapon, I'm sure has some of your interests piqued. It was one of the top damage weapons in the game at its creation, and it has kind of fallen out of glory there. But you know, one thing I don't know if I talked about the stat requirements on this, but the 110 dexterity and 189 strength is really high on the stat requirements. You really need a lot of stats to put this thing on. And you are rewarded with plus 20 to all attributes. So, I mean, it's not like you're terrible here. But if you think about, like, Breath of the Dying has plus 30 to all attributes for a lot less stats, it really kind of makes you sad. Because this item just got, you know, got bumped to the wayside by rune words. And it is a fine weapon. A very fine weapon. Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals watching my videos, even if they're not quite so insightful. I do feel like this weapon is one of those ones that just kind of speaks for itself. And as always, thanks for watching.